If you've always wanted to learn how to make drum and bass but you just don't know where to start, this is the video for you. I'm going to show you how to put together a modern drum and bass track from start to finish, and the first section is the drums. When I first started producing back in the day, I have to admit my drums were sounding kind of weak and pathetic, and the reason was I was using the completely wrong type of samples. So I want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor Loop Cult for sending over their Shockwave sample pack. This pack contains everything you'll need to make a modern day drum and bass track, so let's have a listen to some of these drums. As you can hear, there's loads of nice kicks in here, but I think my favourite was kick 3, so I'm just going to bring that in. And before I go any further, I'm just going to put this to 175 BPM. I'm going to get rid of these two MIDI tracks because I don't need them. And I'm going to zoom in and just loop bar 1. To do that, you just highlight the first bar and press Command and L. And I'm also just going to copy the kick onto beat 3.5. So if you just hold down Alt, you can drag it and you see you've got 3 and 4, and then in between you put it there. So let's have a listen. Alright, let's choose a snare. They're all really nice. I think I like snare 2, so I'll just put that there. And I'm just going to, again, drag it and hold down Alt, so it sounds like this. The amazing thing about this Shockwave sample pack is that you've got these top loops, which are basically like all your hi-hats and cymbals and everything that you need all in one. So let's have a listen to some of these. So I'm going to go with top 10, so I'll just bring that in, and as you can see that one's 4 bars long, so I'm just going to highlight this 1 bar of kicks and snares and press Command and D, and if we just make sure looping is on, it sounds like this. So I just want a basic crash, so cymbal 19 is going to be perfect. I'll just crank it down a bit. So it's time to do a little bit of organisation, so I'm just going to put these into a group together. So to do that, what you do is just click the top one and press Command and R and type kick, then press the tab button on your keyboard. That takes you down to the next one. You type snare, next one, top loop, and then press tab one more time and type crash. And then click the top one again and hold down shift and click the bottom one, and then Command and G to group them all together. Command and R one more time to rename it again. And this time I'm going to call the group drums. So that's basically a group of all our drums. And I'm just going to really quickly put some compression on it. So just put the glue compressor onto the group and bring down this threshold a bit. I don't want to overdo it, so I'm just going to try and give it about 2 dB of gain reduction. I'm also going to put this drum bus on and turn it down with the trim, crank the drive a little bit, and just adjust this damp so that it's not taking off too much of the high end. Now it's time to move on to the bass. So in the Shockwave sample pack, we have a folder called Bass One-Shots, and these sounds are absolutely perfect for making DNB. So let me show you some of these. So many different types of DNB bass, and they're all amazing. So let's get into using some of these. So what I want to do is start off with quite a short one, just a short little bass stab. So I'm going to go with this one. And then I'm just going to put that on to bar 1 and 3. And what I'm going to do here is basically alternate between short ones and long ones. So now I've got a short one on bar 1, and I'm going to bring in a longer one. So let's try and find a long one. Quite like 24, so just bring that in. Perfect. So I need another short one. All right, so 30. Sounding sick so far. And I'm going to need another long one, so 35 is perfect. And then I quite liked the first one that we listened to, which was a respace, so that one. I'm going to use that for sure. So far we've just used everything from Shockwave sample pack, but I want to show you something else. There's this free VST called Vital. So it's a synthesizer, and it's very similar to the kind of industry standard Serum, which is the software synthesizer that many people use for drum and bass. And I wanted to just quickly show you how to use this. So if you click where it says Init Preset, you got all these presets that people have made. So for example, this Snow Crash, if you just double click that, this is a pad sound that's going to be perfect for this style of drum and bass. So what you do is just highlight a section, press Shift Command and M to make a MIDI clip, and then make sure you turn on this little headphone symbol, and that will allow you to hear it when you play these keys here. So I'm just going to double click here on D sharp, and then I'm just going to drag that all the way through the clip, so you've got essentially a 4-bar note, and it sounds like this. So that goes pretty well with the tune, and I'm just going to drag in one more Vital. I'm going to press Init Preset again, and I'm going to go down to Ceramic, and this one is more of a kind of evil bell sound that I'm going to use for the melody of this tune. So again, I'm highlighting a section, Shift Command and M, and I'm going to find our D sharp again, which is sort of the key of this tune. Put a note there, and then what I like to do is just Command and D to duplicate it, and then move that note to where you want to put it. For example, here. This is kind of like an evil nursery rhyme, sort of like Chucky. You know that movie, what's it called now? Child's Play. And you've got like the evil doll. It's like that, isn't it? So let's go back to the sample pack now, and I want to listen to some of these others. So we've got FX one-shots. Let's have a listen to some of these. We've got glitches. I think we can use glitch 6 at some point. So I'll just drag that in. And then we've got lasers. I'm definitely going to want a laser in there somewhere. I think it's going to sound good with a bit of delay on it. So what you want to do is just go into audio effects, grab the delay and put that on there. And then listen to how the laser sounds now. What I want to do now is create a intro synth. So if you look further down here, you've got these synth bits, right? And this evil synth is going to be absolutely perfect for our intro. So I'm just going to chop off the beginning bit and start it from about here. And I don't think it needs to be this long, so how about like this? Then I'm going to copy that and put it at the end here. I'm just going to move it up by 1 semitone so it does this. That one, Synth 05, is kind of similar but nastier. So what I should do is, I'll just copy this whole section here, and then when it loops around, this time, it's going to be Synth 5. So it's at this point where I'm basically going to make the arrangement. So what I need to do is copy a load of this stuff. The drums and the bass, I'm just going to copy them. I'm just going to click bar 33 and press Command and V to paste it there. So the drop sounds like this. Alright, so what I want to do is make a little bit of a drum roll that is going to help us transition from one section to the next. So if we go to drum loops, and let's have a listen to some of these. Alright, so I'm going to use drums 23 full. Just put that in there, and then just going to use the first half of it there, chop it off. I'll show you how to do an auto filter sweep. So what we need to do is go into audio effects and grab the auto filter and put that on there. And then we're going to put it onto this bandpass mode, and we're going to press A. You're going to see this red line appear, right? Then whatever control you happen to touch in Ableton is going to correspond with that red line. For example, if you click filter frequency, then you'll see here it says auto filter frequency. That means that this red line now corresponds with that control. If you make the red line go upwards like that, it'll make the control turn upwards like this. Now what I need to do is cut out the other drums because this is there to replace them. So it sounds like this. This is going to happen before the drop as well. So it'll be here. Alright, so that is our drum fill, and I'm just going to drag that into the drums group. Right, so when this evil bell is happening, it does sound a bit too sparse in my opinion. So I think I'm going to need an extra hi-hat loop or something. So let's go back into the Shockwave sample pack and let's go back to top loops and have a listen to some of these. I mean, that one's absolutely perfect, so I'll just put that in there. Not quite as loud. And I'll go back to the audio effects and grab the reverb for that. So far I've not even saved it, so that would be a good idea. So I'm just going to press Command and S, and that brings up this panel where you can just type in a name, so Shockwave, and press save. Let's play it again. So maybe this should carry on. Alright, so what I want to do is, with the evil bell, I want that to sort of go ding, 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 and a load of delay comes onto it. So it goes. and then there'll be a load of delay on that. So the way how I like to do this is, if you see here, you've got your return tracks, right? Reverb and delay. So that's A, reverb, B, delay, and it corresponds to these A and B knobs here. So if you just turn B up like that, that's going to send everything to the delay. All right. So you can automate that. So if you go to press A to get into automation mode, and you'll see that the red line was all the way up. But what you want to do is start off with the red line all the way down for B delay, and then grab this little pencil tool and just draw it up like that. On this send control here, you'll see there's a little red dot, and watch what happens when I play the track. And that's it. So it's time for me to work on the main section. So I'm just going to duplicate this whole bit. So it repeats that. And that's 16 bars. And at the end of the 16 bar section, I'm going to introduce this drum fill again. So I just want the first half of it. So I'll just copy that and put it there. So that's 1 bar of drum fill. But I do want this auto filter to turn off, so I'm just going to click the off button of the auto filter and then go into automation mode, and I'll make it so that the device turns on during this first, just where it drops, you know, and that way it won't be on here at the end of this 16 bar section. And I'm just going to chop out these drums. So then the end of this section sounds like this. Right, now that we've got that fill at the end of each 16 bar section, what I'm going to do is duplicate this whole 16 bar section of drums and put it there. And then in this second one, I'm going to change up the bass line. So before I go, I just want to quickly show you what's going on the master channel. So I've got this thing called Ozone 9, and what that is, it's a mastering plugin which contains a maximizer. And a maximizer is just a fancy name for a limiter, but watch what happens when I play the track. So you can see this blue bit that's pushing down, and it also shows on the waveform, and it's pushing it down by about 3 dB. Really pushing it down isn't the right way to say it. It's the track is pushing up and it's hitting this ceiling, you know. Anyway, there's this plugin called a Ulean loudness meter, which is free of charge, and I recommend you should get it. And this shows you the LUFS of your tune. So LUFS is a unit of loudness, so it's a way of measuring how loud your tune is compared to other people's tunes. So watch what happens on this short term and integrated when I play the track. So as you could see, the track hit up to about -6 on the LUFS meter, which is quite loud, and that's going to allow your track to be as loud as the previous track. If, let's say, if a DJ mixes your tune in, then it's not going to sound really quiet compared to the previous tune. So that's a quick way to get it loud. You can just run it through something like Ozone, boost it up, and then use the Ulean loudness meter to make sure you're getting it up to -7 or -6 LUFS. If you've learned something from this tutorial, make sure you click the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thanks again to Loop Cult for sponsoring today's video. If you want to check out the Shockwave sample pack, just grab it from the link down below. And if you want to learn how to make liquid drum and bass, check out this tutorial. My name's DJ Graish, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.